Welcome back, you gorgeous and beautiful people from the internet. My name is Manzi Games. Today I just want to talk more about this recent video that I made, and it's starting to pop off, and I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support. It's regarding the GDKP ban response that I made, and I feel like there's a lot of love and hate relationship here. A lot of people are for GDKPs and a lot of people are against GDKPs. It's the best way to explain it is it's like sushi, right? Either you love it or you hate it. There's no one like standing on the fence or in between at all. Like today I feel like sushi, but tomorrow I don't. It's either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between, and that is pretty much GDKP in World of Warcraft. So obviously you guys know that I'm for GDKPs. I think it's fantastic. I think it's the best looting system in the game. Whether you go out of your way to spend more money to buy gold, right? Or if you just farm it legitimately, or you're just there to make gold. It doesn't matter since you're on a geared character. And if you are on a brand new character, that's the only groups you can find because, if you're brand new character, they don't care if you can bring DPS or not. Like you're gonna spend gold, so you get invited anyway. Like at the end of the day, it's the people that need to understand this. It's not gold getting created out of thin air, right? It's gold being relocated throughout the people that is taking part in the GDKP. Everyone's getting paid, and obviously at the later stages, it will be the people that actually do better. So the people that are geared and doing their roles efficiently or the best, they might get paid more. I know they do this in GDKPs in Wrath of the Lich King, for example, where it's like a 40-man raid. So they also take a bigger cut. But anyway, today's video is going to be pretty much to the response. Now, I just want to say sorry for you guys. It's currently 3:30 in the morning. I am pretty tired, so I'm going to read through this as good as I can so that I can give you guys a little bit of a response as well from the comments, because I feel like there's a lot of people that is definitely against GDKPs. I think there's more people against it than for it, to be honest. So let's go through it. Okay, so a Vidu commented here, people just love to blame the outside factors to execute their own laziness and incompetence. Loudest anti-GDKPers are usually the ones that never got into one in the first place. Common knowledge among their GDKP inflates prices because of bots, yada yada. However, bots are the only reason they get so cheap consumables and can actually afford any raiding, doing like a quest per day on a capped character. Banning most versatile loot system is pretty sad. However, now we will see the shift of opinions in the community so that they don't have to ban GDKPs in other game versions. Pretty smart on a Blizzard, to be honest. So I do agree 100% with what this guy is saying, because a lot of people say that bots is the gold they sell, right, is infiltrating the prices and making it more expensive. For example, let's take a dumb example, something like leather, right? Leather becomes more valuable because of the gold inflation that's happening in the back end. However, if the bots is not there in the first place, leather would have been way more expensive than it is right now. So the bots is actually helping to keep the prices low, if that makes sense. So people that's saying stuff like, because of all the selling going on, raiding will become more expensive. No, raiding is cheap thanks to bots. If bots wasn't there, raiding would have been expensive in itself. So that is a very good example. I appreciate that comment, Vidu. There was a time, I'm going to read the response now of this guy. And by the way, I did read some of this guy's comments. He's very against it. So I wouldn't say this guy is for GDKPs, but he's definitely saying that bots is helping with this, and he's glad that they're testing it out on SoD so that they won't bring it out to other places. So maybe he is standing for it because he's saying that it's one of the best looting systems. And I do agree 100%. I think this is the thing, right? A lot of people say that, oh, bots is so bad because people buy gold and then they go into GDKPs and they get all the loot. Who the fuck cares? I'm going out there. I'm going out of that GDKP with extra money, with extra gold. I can take that gold then to spend on other characters and play with them as well. Dude, again, like, it for me, it's just sad when people, like, they say, oh, the purple item dropped and I couldn't get it because someone else bid it 100 gold on, let's say, the rod right now. On the purple rod that drops in BFD. Bro, who cares, right? Who cares? The phase is going to be over in 6 weeks anyway. It's not a big deal. By the time you complain about it so much, the new phase is starting. You go up to level 40 and get different gear or better gear anyway. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You're like, you're complaining about 10 DPS difference between the staff, the purple staff, and the staff that's prior to it. It's not that big of a deal, but you are making a lot of gold. So, like, if you can't take the punishment and you rather want to gamble, because I bet you there's so many more people that rolled for the rod and didn't get it. So I don't know why people are complaining about GDKPs if people are betting more gold. Just don't join GDKPs if you don't have the gold to go behind it. Just go. If you're lucky, you can get the rod. If you're not lucky, then you can blame GDKP still, because like that's what people do these days. That's what it feels like. There was time. Okay, I'm going to read the response now. There was a time where people raided and GDKPs didn't exist, and everything was fine. That is a bold statement, bro. Let's be honest here. GDKPs existed a little bit later in Wrath of the Lich King. That's when it started to show face, right? Before that, it wasn't really popular. It did show its face, but like after bigger channels started to do it, it started to become more popular. And the reason being is because it is the best looting system there is. There's nothing better. As long as there's enough players playing the game, consumables will be affordable. That is not true. Bro, like, I'm not gonna make a new character to just run around and farm mining materials and do skinning to make gold. Sorry, if you want to play the game efficiently, on most characters, like engineering is mostly important on like higher DPS ends, right? And also if you want to prepare for phase 2, that's why everything becomes more expensive now, because the only headpiece you can get is from your profession. So you need to have leatherworking, blacksmithing, or tailoring. If you want a purple headpiece in phase 2, that is the 3 professions you need to have. So everyone right now is buying leather. And like I saw leather go from 20 copper each, and now it's 1.5 silver each. Okay? I promise you, there's not a lot of people that will sit here and like go farm for 5 hours, like just killing stuff to sell the leather. People don't do that, bro. And if you do, hats off to you, man. But you'll still not make a lot of gold. Like, if you want to make a lot of gold, go sell runs like Wailing Caverns or Razor, RFC. Go sell those runs, you'll make a lot of gold by selling that. Affordable, you can actually don't need any in SoD right now because the raids are easy. Easy or difficulty has nothing to do with it. If you are in a somewhat of a pug, they require you to have stuff like world buffs, shadow protection potion, FAPs. Some will even tell you to use an elixir, whether it's strength or agility, sometimes both. It's not about how easy a run is. If you are in a pug and the raid leader is like, you need to use these things and you don't, well, that could be a problem because they see you maybe of, not taking the raid seriously, or you just want to go in there free, and others are using that. So yeah, it has nothing to do with how easy a raid is. Stuff will be mandatory, so like it has nothing to do with it. There's no point in complaining. Okay, let's read. It is pretty obvious that you should play the game and be engaged by raiding with others for the loot and not for gold. You see, this is again bringing it back to you should be rolling and see if you're lucky versus paying. I know, okay, here's something I need to mention. I know that something like World of Warcraft is not pay to win. And GDKPs is bringing it into a form of that era, right? It becomes a pay to win game if you are putting it into a nutshell of just what GDKPs is. The biggest channels that are against GDKPs, the biggest channels, and this is in like I watched a lot of people talk about this. This is excluding Asmongold, right? But he is a very big how can I say this? A very big idol that does that does this as well. So the biggest channels, from what I've seen, this is Zaryu, this is Asmongold, this is Stay Safe TV. This is way more people than I think that I could mention right now, but this is how they do this, right? They say, listen, guys, who wants to raid? And then people whisper and blah, blah, blah. They make the raid group. They go into BFD and they put on Master Loot. And then they say, if there's any upgrade, I take it. That's how they play. So these guys that are against GDKPs, it's because they want the lead. They want to be ahead of the curve. That's why you see videos being uploaded like 4-man BFDs and stuff like a solo heal mages in raids, because they were so geared. They have the purple staff. Dude, I have 12 characters and I still don't have the staff. And it's not because of the GDKPs, it's because the thing just never drops. And if it drops, I'm on a character that can't use a staff. So like, you get my point, right? So yeah, they had to be lucky, but if it drops, it dropped once, I rolled for it, and believe it or not, I did roll 100, and then the leader was like, no, I rolled too early. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, anyway, I didn't get the staff, because it's a bug, it's not a GDKP. So I had bad experience also rolling stuff, and I did roll 100 and didn't get the staff. I should have made a clip of that and made a video. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that I know the game shouldn't be a pay to win, but it shouldn't also be a gamble. There's a lot of games where you get in trouble for gambling, and this is exactly what this game is. You gamble for gear. So it's not a form of paying, it's a form of gambling. And stuff like Fortnite, for example, and even Counter-Strike with their boxes is a form of gambling. It is. It's you press a button and see if you're lucky versus other people that does the same. So I feel like, you know, we could also say that gambling should be illegal. And then what? Then we shouldn't have Master Loot. That's just my opinion. Okay, there's no point in complaining that you can not buy your whole gear in the first month of playing the game. Just play it and expect you to get lucky. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. And you don't have to be among the first who have everything maxed out because you can afford it. At the end of the day, it is the game. It is a game. And you should be fun. So pick a profession that is lucrative and get the money. you need instead of filling your bags with bot money and not having to think a second about gold problems. Then consumables are no issue at all because gold will keep its value easier without GDKPs. No. Dude, like you have no idea what you're talking about. Out of all the games that came out, all the WoW versions that ever came out, SoD will have the highest inflation out of all. And the reason being is because it's easy to level, and then you are level 25, and there's so many quests you can do to get gold. You can easily make about 120, 150 gold per level 25 character. So if you think logically about it, unfortunately, the gold inflation is already that high in this game, and it will only become higher. Wait until level 40 like cap hits. It's going to be like 3 or 4 gold each quest. It's going to become extremely problematic because of a hyperinflation of gold. It will be the highest inflation of gold on any WoW classic game ever released ever. And it's not because of bots. This is the one thing, this is why I'm going to be so happy with Phase 2, where GDKPs is banned, because you guys think it's bots. It's not bots. It's just regular quests, where people are going to quest and they're going to have a lot of gold, and they're going to spend the gold in the auction house, and everything will become more expensive. This bold statement here, I don't know where you guys think that everyone doing GDKPs is buying gold. Dude, gold has never been this easy to make in any game of WoW. So I don't know where people are saying that most people that does GDKPs has bought gold. That is a bold statement that you have zero evidence or proof of. So yeah, that is just the truth. I'm gonna just press the X here. Let's just see. Let's respond to another guy. Banning GDKPs is a step forward for Blizzard. Trying new things out. It's not amazing, but it's a step in the right direction to try out. I think you need to have a more open mind about it, because you need to realize that you are the top 0.001% of players who play the game for 10 hours a day with 10 plus characters. If that is the case, why don't I still get views on Twitch? By the way, guys, links in the description. Go follow me on Twitch. I stream every single day. I don't know why that if I'm this percentage over here, why am I still not getting views on Twitch? I mean, we have different opinions about GDKPs, but we're all still enjoying the game, right? So follow me on Twitch if you want to check out that. The thing is, I do agree and disagree with this statement at the same time. I know people that has more gold than me. I know a guy that has 1.4 thousand gold that is playing on the NA server, and that is doing this purely by professions. That's all he does. Professions. He has every single profession maxed out, and he only like makes gold on professions. Like, he doesn't do GDKPs. He doesn't sell raids. He doesn't do anything. All he does is does professions and selling it in the auction house. And he's selling with 1.4k gold at the moment. Complained to me on stream the other day that GDKP is getting banned now, because he was preparing for level 60 stuff, right? Getting like 6-7 characters there eventually, and GDKP, and you know, he was pretty much just maxing out as many characters as possible with all professions, and that was his main goal. And now that's being crushed. So I wouldn't say I'm like the top 0.01%. I know a few people that is doing this. I would say there's like a 5, maybe 10% people that has like every class, or at least close to like 7 characters maxed out. I wouldn't say 10 plus, but like at least 7. So yeah, I think this is way too low percentage. But I don't want to criticize that. I think gold is just so much easier to make than people think. In my opinion, if you still don't know how to make gold, if you still don't have 100 gold at least on one character, I think you're just watching the wrong people on Twitch or on YouTube. You shouldn't be searching up how to make gold on guides. You should watch people play and ask them about their methods. If you want to learn something about the game, you should watch the people that know the game. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So that is my opinion about that. It's nothing to do with the percentage in. You can have 2 characters and still have 1,000 gold if you were just have a little skill, right? If you sold Wailing Caverns runs and stuff like that. Anyway, GDKPs are the only way that, to have a decent raid on alts, or even on your main. If you fail in GDKP, you do not get a cut. It works. Most people can't do Hellion Heroic and didn't kill it in LK Heroic. Retail is impossible to play because of plagued and idiots that can't do anything. And on top of that, there is so much shit that you need to do just to stay relevant. That is worse than a second job. Okay, so I don't know why we're talking about this, because like I feel like the videos that I watch, I haven't played retail, guys. I stopped playing retail in BFD when my Mythic Plus team didn't make top 8. The team disbanded. I decided to quit the game because there's 2 other people that also quit, and I didn't want to, like, you know, struggle to find a group again and find a team to compete again for BlizzCon. So I just quit the game in BFD. And recently I came back because of Classic Hardcore. I have 0 experience in Classic, to be honest. This is my first time ever playing Classic. From what I can tell is the game is super duper easy. There's like 0 mechanics in BFD so far. So I don't know if there's going to become more mechanics in No More Gone. There's no evidence of anything, right? But if you compare the two, literally retail to Classic, there's no comparison. Classic is a million times easier, right? BFD has like 2 mechanics, let's be honest here, and people still fail at it, right? They don't jump down in boss 1. They don't run away from boss 2 when the bubble's about to pop. They don't spread from boss 3 when the lightning orb is on them. They can't dodge Murlocs on boss 4. They still hit the fucking boss in boss 5 when the totem is up. Like, I don't get that. Like, you know. So like, yeah, there's like 1 mechanic in each boss, and it's like very simple, and they still fail at it. So I do think that, you know, if GDKPs does exist in retail, I think it does, it will be problematic because you cannot carry people to that extent, right? If they are brain dead. So I can see that happen, but that is not a thing in Classic. Classic, you can have like 5 people carry 5 noobs, as long as they don't like spawn infinite ads on the final boss, right? So have you tried BFD? It's fucking easy. Yeah. So like, yeah, I would oopsie. I would not have said this, but yeah. The first part is like makes a lot of sense. GDKPs has a very good purpose, and that is for people that is like brand new to the game, or people, I wouldn't say brand new to the game, they have to know what the looting system is at least. But people that are brand new, like leveling up a brand new character, this is where it's like the shine, right? It is super duper good. So I would definitely say that this is the truth. But we'll see. Maybe it becomes harder and you'll have to do a little bit of like, you know, checking their background before you can invite them. I don't know. Well, Blizzard is taking a different approach. Also, maybe lowering the barrier of entry for the old WoW versions, but also adding new stuff to make it somewhat fresh for the veteran players. and capping the levels so people like you that are optimizing their huge amount of playtime to get something of worth out of it, and don't raid MC right now by doing GDKPs. I like the change, but I also don't dump 10 hours a day into the game. I know a lot of people that started the game and haven't played WoW before, and also a lot of people, or a lot of returning players that haven't played in 5 years or more. And I tried GDKPs and I think GDKPs are ruining the game because they can not know where or what farm or how to make properly gold, or are even struggling with getting 50 gold to prepare for the next phase, and they're dumping that into gear that gets almost no upgrade at all. Otherwise you won't get gold. So in terms of character optimization, optimizing GDKPs are important, but until the gold buyers until the gold buyers out there stop buying, GDKPs are more of a way to lower the gold value than actually providing a good mechanic from preventing drops to be trash because no one needs them. Also, tokens are coming, so that argument is only half valid here. Tokens are coming? What tokens? WoW tokens? They bringing that into SoD? Is that confirmed? Can anyone let me know, please? Is that confirmed? In terms of Dungeon Finder, I highly disagree here. Okay. In SoD, the main focus is world building and discovering. And there are many other WoW versions out there with Dungeon Finder and almost an empty world. Okay, so this is also not true. Okay. The world is empty because they are already done with that. Does that make sense? The world is empty because everyone's sitting on their max level characters. In retail, okay, I can't talk for Wrath of the Lich King because I'd never played Wrath of the Lich King Classic, okay? But in retail, people quest. They do all the quests, and then they play the game. They do Mythic Plus, they do Mythic raiding, they do hardcore raiding, they do... Dude, there's too much content to have multiple characters. That's why retail feels dead. People are doing raids, and they have flying mounts. They're not on the ground like Classic. Come on, dude. Like, let's be real here. Like, Dungeon Finder is not gonna make the world more empty. It's just a quality of life feature. Think of the people that like me that just wants to dungeon spam. I just want to sit in one place like Thunderbluff and click on a button, and it will find a raid group for me and teleport me to the raid or the dungeon. Like, I don't want to run there because even if I'm there and I find like Shadowfang Keep, this happened multiple times. I find a tank that's standing at Thunderbluff. It takes him 20 to 25 minutes to get to the raid or get to the dungeon. And during that time, I could have done the dungeon once already. That's how long the dungeon takes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Dungeon Finder is just a utility. And also, dude, I came across a lot of people recently on my channel that is saying that they're chat banned. So people forming groups in chat, unfortunately, you have to spam the chat. That is the only way you get groups, right? So I feel like it's an old version. And if you're chat banned, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You could just stop playing the game for a week. So at least Dungeon Finder and group finder and stuff like that will be less spammy in your chat rooms. Like, I would like to talk to people, man. I'm a very talkative person. I love being on Discord with people. I love like typing to people. But I dislike the fact that I don't have a chat room. It's just bombarded with adverts, one to sell, one to buy, looking for groups. Like it's terrible, and I can't leave that group because I myself have to take part in this stupid chat just to get stuff done, just to get into a Warsong Gulch or get into a raid. It is absolutely terrible, and like I feel like Dungeon Finder and Group Finder is gonna make that just so much better. We can have different opinions about this, but the world is empty in retail because of flying mounts, number one, and number two is because you can't really have more than one character. There's just too much to do on each character, whether it's like farming new reputation, whether it's Mythic Plus rating, getting extremely good gear, Mythic Plus, you need to do arenas for gear. Like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff you have to do on each character. So on retail, if you have more than one character, you most probably do it full time. Because yeah, you understand what I'm saying. That's why the world feels empty, because there's less people running around. They're flying mounts, and they're standing in the like. Dude, go to Thunderbluff. Like, just check how many people standing there, just forming groups, doing PvP. Like, it's gonna be like that again, but it's just gonna be more. I don't know how that's a bad thing. I always find people to kill professions to do while I wait on someone. Okay, but dude, I'm not gonna run around looking for material because my tank is somewhere else. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna do that. And even my main doesn't even have a farming material. Like I have leatherworking and enchanting on my main. So like I can't do that. So anyway, let's be real here. SoD is not optimizing the fun out of the game like the other versions of WoW, even though the player base tries to. Okay, but that is your opinion. You don't want to sweat the game. That doesn't mean that anyone else doesn't want to. I want to sweat the game. I want to do highest DPS I can or the highest healing. I want to break the game in some way, shape, or form. I want to become as strong as I possibly can and one-shot people in Warsong Gulch. Who doesn't want to do that, bro? And if you don't want to do that, that is you. You want to play the game casually. You should be leaving the people alone that wants to grind and like sweat the game. I just find it problematic that you say that Dungeon Finder makes the world empty, because I feel like most games that does have Dungeon Finder has a flying mount in it. Like, it's common sense, right? Like, I can't really talk for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. I can't, because I have no idea. But I'm assuming it's the same type of thing. There's maybe too much content to do with more than one character. It depends on how long the content doesn't change, right? If the content remains the same, then you have more time to get more characters geared. But how retail works is once you get your character geared, either the new raid gets released or a new expansion. It's a never-ending grind with that set character, pretty much. So you'll see a lot of people in the start of each phase or the start of each. It's the same, dude. It's the same with SoD. If you played the game in the first 2 weeks, like Barons was bombarded with people. Now it's, dude, like there's no one. I wouldn't say there's no one, but there's like 3 people, dude. So yeah, it's again the point that you're trying to make doesn't make sense, because the longer a phase is out, the less people will be questing. I've seen a couple of people in some of the BFD runs saying that their first time playing or raiding ever And I can't help but feel bad for them when they try to find a fresh BFD and all they see in chat waves is waves of GDKP runs. I don't know why you're feeling bad for these people. If you're brand new to the game and it's your first time ever raiding, it should be with your guild. And if it's not, then why are you feeling bad for them? And if you're not in a guild, you should be pugging something like soft res. I don't know why you're feeling bad for them. GDKP is in every single game. Right, so I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. It is hard to spot gold buyers because of gold exchanged for any number of reasons, not necessarily discussed in-game, and can't be perfectly legit or not. There is no real way of knowing whether a gold exchange is illegal or not. Banning GDKP is the best way that is easiest to find out, and we know they create butters. Nobody wants SoD to turn into a late game classic era with hundreds, thousands of gold for a single piece of gear. Right, I can see this happen where an item could go for 10k gold in level 40. I can see 100k easily be hit because of SoD inflation, because of how easy it is to make gold. You level up by dungeons and then you do the quest once you're max level. You make so much gold, you have no idea. You have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like people saying these things, they think that everyone that does GDKPs has bought the gold. Dude, just take one character, level it up to 25. It's a little bit late now, but you level it up to 25. Then you go to the starting zones, do all the grey quests you can. And you know what? You get like 80 silver for each of them. It is ridiculous. You one-shot anything, especially level 25, and you get 80 silver for handing in a quest. It is ridiculous, dude. It is so easy to make gold. You easily make 20 gold an hour. So, again, yeah. Just play the damn game like you're supposed to and roll like everybody else. Again, it's a form of gambling. If I want to gamble, I play slot machines. I'll go to the casino. Why play a game and then roll for gear? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you're full bus with a character, make another one. You see, this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. And that's why I'm saying that people that have gear that's full bus, maybe not even full bus. Like, I'm not full bus on most of my characters. I say I'm full bus, but I don't have the purple weapon. So like my druid has 370 gear score. I don't have the purple rod. So I'm not full bus technically. And I don't raid with him anymore because I'm not gonna just do it for soft res, for that stuff. It's a waste of my time. If you full bus, make another one. That is true. So pretty much what you're saying is, let's say I only want to play one character. Let's say I am Stay Safe TV. Let's say I'm that guy that screams on top of his lungs how bad GDKP is because it ruins the game. I'm that guy now. Okay, I create my raid and I take any upgrade. If it says it's an upgrade, I take it. I keep it. You know what's gonna happen? I'm done raiding within 2 weeks. If a reset is happening every 3 days, I'm done raiding in about 2 weeks. And you'll never see my character ever again in a raid. Unless it's a parse run or with my guild. That's what you don't understand. So, if that guy doesn't raid anymore, like a lot of people does, especially on Horde, I know a lot of people, including my guild leader, that just doesn't log on anymore. He's full bus waiting for the next phase. Even with GDKPs, he could have made gold, but he doesn't even do that. But anyway, now that guy will never raid again. So that's one less person that would have raided if GDKPs existed. Does that make sense? And not just that, he's full BIS gear. So he would be able to carry someone that doesn't have gear. He would make up for the damage of the person that is brand new and fresh into level 25. So that is what I'm saying. It's not about making a new character. There's a lot of people that only play a character or two on SoD because they also play retail or they also have a job and stuff like that. They only play like 2 characters. So if that character is full BIS geared, you will never raid with that guy again. That is just facts. But I know the people. I know the people with 2 characters. They will raid if they get gold out of it. So if they don't get gold, they're not gonna raid. They're not gonna carry your ass because you have a new character. It doesn't work like that. So this statement doesn't. It's not true. Unless you literally have one character in every class that is full BIS. I don't want to hear complaints about not being able to raid. Besides, phase 2 gonna have triple the amount of raid gear compared to P1. I mean, there's more choices, right? Especially when it comes to weapons. But that is a nullified factor. It's still BIS gear. Like BIS, it's BIS or PIS. That's the great thing about GDKPs. It's BIS or PIS. If it's BIS, you buy it. If it's not, you don't buy upgrades unless you have nothing and fill up the slots, right? Compared to P1, it's gonna take much longer to BIS now anyway. I would disagree. So here's my returnation, right? So just like right now, we have one piece that is your headpiece, right? That will be from your profession. Then you'll have already, which you didn't have before, if you are exalted in PvP, you'll have the bracelet as well. So that's already 2 pieces, right? I'm pretty sure for rank 3, there will be another back, or maybe for rank 5. So that will be already 3 pieces that you get that's BIS. Right off the gate. So in argument, there's more loot now in the raid, but it will be easier to BIS out. Because I also read something where you get tokens, where if you give me a set item, you get a 3 set piece. If you give me like a cloth dropped, right? I can take that cloth and I can pay a token, whatever that token is, and I could exchange it to whatever piece I want. If I'm not mistaken. I heard something about that. I don't know too much about it yet. So it will be easier to get your full set as well, if that is true. So yeah, right off the gates, you'll already gear up way faster just because of this. So not true. But okay. Even if you played every Awaken hour, you couldn't possibly full BIS. Every class in phase 2 before phase 3 arrives. GDKPs has no place in SoD. Wait, why are we talking about GDKPs now again? Even if you play every Awaken hour, that has also nothing to do with it. Like, it's every 3-day reset. It has nothing to do with if you play a lot. So that's why you play more characters, so you can raid more often. That's... So I don't know what the statement is. It's like you're talking all over the place. I do agree that the test is needed without GDKPs to prove my point. This is me writing this. The game will feel dead because BIS characters won't raid. Like, yeah, I explained myself a few times already. You didn't think 2SR will be more relevant? Okay, so for this answer right here, I know that most, at least most of my guild members, most of the people I talk to, they will only do 2 soft reserves or runs. I already have the website up. I already tested it out a few times to host it. I will be hosting 2 soft reserves within next phase. If the channel grows, keep that in mind, guys. Like I'm a full-time content creator. If I don't get any views or any support and stuff like that, I will have to switch games. I want to become a known streamer for World of Warcraft. I'm not also asking for much. All I want is you guys to just participate in the chat when I'm live. That will really, boost my day as well. If you only like 2 to 3 of the same stuff, if only like 2 to 3 need the same stuff, it's good too. Only you 3 get to roll instead of the character who can use its rolls. Sure, you are not guaranteed to loot, but the odds is much higher. Would have been the same with GDKPs too. Most people can't afford every piece gear that they want unless you're illegally buying gold. Oh man. Bro, like you're talking like you've never done a GDKP before. Like I'm gonna be honest. You either you've done one in your life or you've never done one at all. And you're just assuming. Like it feels like all you're saying here is purely assumptions. You think, but instead of saying you think, you just say as if you know. Bro, how many times have I lost gear to people betting higher than me? A lot. Do I care? No, dude, it's a 3-day reset. I just go again. I get gold. My character has more gold for the next GDKP. Like, do I care? I do not care. I just think the loot system is by far the best in the game. Either you get gold or you get gear. But now I'm gonna go into a raid and I can get nothing. I spend an hour to form the group. I go into the raid. It takes 40 minutes and I get nothing. I spent an hour and 40 minutes of my life and I got nothing. I don't know how many times I need to say this because I don't think you understand it. And it's making me angry because you're saying the same shit over and over again, Sammy. Listen. This is why GDKPs is so good. Either you get gear or you get gold. Like I don't know, like do a GDKP before it's banned. That's all I could tell you. I'm going to do my best to draw something for you guys for it to make sense. Proceeds to open paint, writes 2 words for 30 minutes and nothing is drawn. Laughing my ass off. It's funny how the minority scream at the top of their lungs to rationalize their nonsense. Just because you are loud doesn't mean you are right. GDKP is absolutely terrible, and some games should pose a challenge. So cut the crap about titles being hard to get. Let me explain something to you guys. If you get into the passenger seat of a car that is in the process of being stolen by a friend and try to claim that it wasn't you who stole the car, you're still going to get some time for being an accessory to the crime. There's no such thing as a natural GDKP player. It's an utter fallacy, and if you take part in GDKP, you are a part of the problem. Why isn't Blizzard banning the GDKP buyers, you ask? That is called cutting the tail off the snake. Why bother when you can cut the head off the snake? So this one for me is a little bit all over the place, right? The one that is explaining of you sitting in the passenger seat of a stolen car. That to me doesn't make sense. I wouldn't climb into a car unless it is my friend's car. If he's busy stealing the car and I get in the passenger seat, sure. But that is only when he's busy stealing the car. You're not going to climb into a car while your friend is sitting there with a crank opening up the fucking door. Like, that to me doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know what this statement is, bro. Like, this statement here, let me explain something to you guys. Like, no, that is not an explanation. That is not something to do with anything. So then claiming something that it is utter fallacy, and if you take part in GDKP, you are part of the problem. The problem of what? I'm going to mention this again. Most people that is in OnlyFans is the problem. It is the biggest channels that people like you that is complaining about this GDKP right now is the problem of, because you guys are supporting the biggest channels. You are watching these guys that are buying gold, taking illicit activities like this, then paying like 200,000 gold for an item. You are supporting the problem. You are paying the people to buy more gold. So, am I in the wrong here for doing GDKPs now? No. I just like the support. I just like the system, how it works. It is by far the best system in the game. I'm gonna just say this again because people just don't understand this. I go into a raid and I always go home with something. Like, don't you understand this? If my items that I want to buy doesn't drop, I get fucking gold and go home. If I do a normal run, let's even say soft reserve run, and my items don't drop, the whole raid is a fucking waste of my time. Do you get that? At least with GDKPs, I'm either getting gold or I get items. Like, I don't know how this is part of the problem. What the fuck is part of the problem, dude? Again, I'm gonna say this again. It is super easy to figure out if someone is buying gold. If you are playing the game for an hour a day and you're sitting with 10,000 gold in SoD, I don't give a fuck what you say. You did buy gold. It's that simple. It doesn't take 2 seconds for Blizzard to look and see, hey, listen, why does this character or this account have this much gold? Where did this come from? And track it. It's not that difficult. Everything is on a ledger, dude. Everything. If you do any transaction of sending or receiving gold, Blizzard should be able to track it. It is how it is. But they just don't have a team, or they don't care about this. Because the people, everyone that is in OnlyFans has a large following. And they don't want to ban these people because they are the biggest followers or the biggest channels on Twitch for their game. They are scared of banning the bad actors because they will lose money from these whales, quote unquote, for advertising and playing their game. But they are bad actors. And people like you, it's your job to stop supporting them. And they will stop buying gold, potentially, hopefully. And if they don't, you fucking just stop watching them. That is just my opinion. Well said. Well said? Bro, it doesn't make fucking sense what he said here. It doesn't make sense. Just because you're the loudest doesn't mean you're right. I'm not being loud. I'm just stating the facts that GDKPs has a perfect place in a game like World of Warcraft. That is what I'm saying. And GDKPs is not the problem, it's bots. And there's better ways to take care of bots than to ban a whole looting system. Because just remember this, guys, it's not just GDKPs that's getting banned. It's any form of boosting. You cannot boost Wailing Caverns anymore. You cannot boost RFC. You cannot boost anything anymore. If you get any type of gold for doing any type of activity or get paid for any type of service, I think this will include teleports, by the way. I think it will include that also, because you're paying for a service. Any type of transaction, gold transaction in the game is illegal. Any type of transaction, anything. So I'm pretty sure this will also be for buying summons. You're not allowed to buy summons anymore. So you guys are screaming in the top of your lungs about, you know, let's get these guys out. Well, a lot of stuff is going to change right now. You're implying that the support of streamers are doing it. Did they say that? You're legit crying again. I'm not crying. I'm stating facts here. It is people like you that is watching content creators that don't know how to make gold themselves, but then they watch people that buy gold. It's not me crying. It's the honest truth. It doesn't take, dude, how do I say this? XQC and not XQC and what's his name? They betted against each other in Hardcore Classic. Where did they get the gold from? And why did they only take away one of their golds? Like, it doesn't make sense. Both of them should have lost all their gold. A point should have been made from them for banning one or the other, or maybe even both, because they both bought gold. And yeah, they should have made a point out of them. But no, instead of like banning them, what the hell is his name? His name is SoD Poppin. Instead of banning SoD Poppin because he's the leader of OnlyFans, they just like give him a slap on the wrist and take all his gold away, and then the item that he won. If I'm not mistaken, that's all they did. So I mean, that is just a slap on the wrist, dude. Like, please don't do that again. That's Blizzard. If it was me and I get caught, I'm an insta-ban, perma-ban, account suspension. But because he's that big of a streamer, it's a slap on the wrist, dude. Here, take a tickle. Give me your gold, please. Not even a chat ban. Nothing, dude. It's just gold gets taken away. So I don't know, like, you know, it's bias, number one. And it's not because I'm implying that streamers is doing it. They are, and there's so much proof of it. Like it doesn't take 2 seconds to know that they're buying gold. It doesn't. But again, people like you are supporting them, and you can say, "Oh, you're not supporting him." It doesn't matter. He still has 10 to 15k viewers when he's live. So it is some of you that is watching this right now that is supporting these SoD Poppins and XQCs that has way too much gold, including Shroud. They have way too much gold. They play all the pay-to-win games, and they just buy their way to the top. So, yeah. People just love to blame the outside factors to excuse their own laziness and incompetence. Loudest anti-GDKPers are usually the ones that never got into one in the first place. Common knowledge among the GDKP inflates prices because of bots, yada yada. However, bots are only reason that they get cheap consumables, and they can actually afford any raiding, doing like quests per day on a couple of on a capped character. Banning most versatile loot system is pretty sad. However, we will see the shift of opinions in the community so that they don't have to ban GDKPs in any other version That's pretty smart from Blizzard, to be honest. I think I did cover this already, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so first of all, I do agree with majority of what he's saying here. Like, bots is bad for the game, and I do get that. But however, bots is the only reason that you get cheap consumables. That is so true. Bots is going out of their way to, like, literally mine the whole time, to skinning, to gathering, to farming cloth, putting it in the auction house, and that's how they make gold. So people are saying that it has ruined the economy because of bots. Well, they are making everything cheaper for you in the first place as well. So bots have, even bots, something like bots have a specific place in the game. It is just our job not to buy gold. And I feel like, again, it needs to be enforced even deeper into the Blizzard that buying gold should be illegal. And they say that it is, but they don't take action against it. Again, there's so many big streamers out there that is proving how they buy gold. And they talk about it on stream. And they just don't get banned. They make jokes about how you swiped again. Yes, XQC, I'm talking about you. You made it so freaking... You made it so easy to notice. And nothing happened to you. Because, hey, look at me, I have 20k viewers playing their game. They will not ban you. There was a time where people raided and GDKPs didn't exist. And everything was fine. I don't know how you can claim this. There was a time when people raided and everything was fine. Everything was fine before GDKPs. Everything is still fine after GDKPs. How is it not fine? You can, dude, you can raid without even looking for GDKPs. You can download an add-on that will just mute everyone that advertise GDKPs instantly. You will never see them again. You'll never talk to them again. I don't know why you're screaming on top of your lungs like how bad GDKPs is, when it's actually a perfect looting system. And dude, all I'm saying is, I think that Blizzard is taking a good action here by implementing something like this into SoD. Because in my opinion, GDKPs will only be banned for Phase 2. And they will lift the ban again for Phase 3. And you guys will see how bad it's going to be after 2 to 3 weeks. Almost no raids will be up. And if there's going to be so many people with new characters that you can't even, like, I don't know how to say this, man. Like, it's going to be hard to find groups. It is. It's going to become hard. And it's going to become gatekeeping, that you need to have at least some gear to raid. It's just how it is, man. As long as there are enough players playing the game, consumables will be affordable, even though you actually don't need in SoD, because it's easy. Difficulty. Okay, I feel like I did cover this already. Difficulty has nothing to do with it. Because some raiding groups will say you need to have all consumables, all, including elixirs, including, geez, bro, I can't even remember the name of it. Scrolls, elixirs, shadow protection potion, free action potion, 2 world buffs, 2, you know. And it feels like it's less popular in GDKPs. Like, we don't care. As long as you bring some gold, we're happy to carry you. That's pretty much how it works. But in software, like, I've seen when I joined a soft reserve, they are a bit more strict. I've seen 2 people get kicked just because they didn't have the world buff. They had the world buff, but it wasn't booned. So they got kicked after they died because they got killed on the way there on a PvP server. That stuff you will not see in GDKPs. People are more chilled, laid back, because it's easy, right? You have like 3 or 4 pumpers, and the rest is buyers. It's very easy. People just don't care. But when it comes to soft reserve, and I think normal main spec or spec runs, I feel like people are a little bit more, stick up their ass kind of players. And you get kicked for any reason. And they don't owe you shit then. Right, so it is pretty obvious that you should play the game. You should play the game. So you shouldn't do GDKPs because that's, in your eyes, is not playing the game. And be engaged with raiding with others. So GDKPs is not raiding with others. And play the game not for gold. We don't play the game for gold. We play the game for loot. But once again, either I get gold or I get loot. You can play it purely for loot. You could just go up and bet all your gold if you want. I don't do that, but you can. I'll just gladly take your gold then. There's no point in complaining, but why are you complaining then? Why are you complaining? Like, you're the one complaining about him commenting this. You deliberately read his comment and then complained about it. And then telling him there's no reason to complain. That you cannot buy your whole gear within the first month. That is not the reason why we do GDKPs. GDKPs you do because you make gold. So, there's like a perfect system. I'm going to open up Paint again. And people are going to laugh because I open up Paint. Let's see here. So, how this works is, let's say, for example, there's 16. I'm not too sure how many slots of gear there is, but there's 16 slots, okay? And you have, let's say you have 100 gold. And you know how you get this 100 gold? Easily. You go to level 25 by purely just dungeon spam. And then at level 25, you raid for, you do quests for 4 hours. And you'll have 100 gold. That's how easy it is. I'm not even kidding. So you have 100 gold, and there's 16 item slots. Okay, so how this will work is, within your first week, or your first raid, every 3 days reset, you will buy the trinket, which is a 100% drop rate for 10 gold. Most people sell it for 10 gold. So you'll have 90 gold left. And then, let's say, for example, the necklace dropped, right? The valuable necklace, which is 5 gold. Goodness, I write so beautifully. And then let's say something else dropped also, your gloves, okay? Gloves, what is this? Necklace. I wrote 5 gold there, but let's just say necklace like this. It's the bling bling, dude. So you have a trinket, necklace, and your gloves. Your set, yeah, just gloves dropped. And let's say set boots. So we'll say boots also. Cool. So this cost you in total, just say roughly 25 gold, right? This was 25 gold. And that is now you have 75 gold left. Okay. You log out of this character and you only raid log. Okay. Now you have 75 gold, right? Right. Now you raid again. You do the raid again. But let's say, for example, obviously the trinket drops. The necklace dropped, the gloves dropped, and also the boots dropped, right? But now also the chest piece dropped, okay? So we'll say the chest here, and you bought it for 5 gold. You were lucky, no one else needed it, you bought it for 5 gold. Now you go down to 70 gold. But that is how you think you go down, but you don't. You don't, because other people that joined as bought all of this, and you know what happened? This you bought for 5 gold. It was the only upgrade you got there. But instead of losing gold, you got 5 gold back. So you're still on 75 gold on that character. Now, the next raid you do, right? Let's say, for example, the headpiece drops. You bet on it, but it went to like 20 or like 40 gold. You didn't get it. Let's say the staff dropped. Ooh, yes, dude. Everyone loves the staff drop. Oof. But that goes for 200 gold. You can't afford that. Or 150 gold. You can't afford that. And you know what? You'll go back to 100 gold within 3 raids. And you got 6 pieces, 7 pieces out of it. And you are 7 out of 16 with exactly the same gold you started on. And that is why I'm saying this is like the perfect loot system. Now you take this gold again and you raid again, and the same items drop, to guess what? You fucking make gold. It's either, like, this is how GDKPs work. You either make gold or you make items. You get items or you get gold. It's a win-win, dude. But people just don't understand this with their small heads. They're like, oh, you should raid for fun. No, I raid for gear. But if the gear doesn't drop, I might as well make gold. Like, I don't know how better I could explain this. Like, Anyway, so that's why I'm saying, like, I'm getting, oh, it's a different guy. I thought it's Sammy the whole time. It's a different guy that's saying this. You don't need any in SoD right now. A raids is easy. It is pretty obvious that you should play the game and you should engage with the raid and loot not for gold. There is no point in complaining that you cannot buy your whole gear in the first month. I think most people that does GDKPs is not there to buy gear to be like the strongest person in every single reset, because that is too much money. That is too much gold. You don't want to go to 0 within your first week, because like then you're not going to get invited to the next raid. You need to have gold, so you need to have gold. So you can't go all in 3 days and then sit with nothing and just an item. You can't do that. So most people that does GDKPs, unless they're like speedrunning guilds or like people that want to do weird stuff like Zaryu, for example, solo heal BFD or 3-man, 4-man BFDs. If you're not someone like that, then it's completely unnecessary to be this strong within the first 2 weeks. Just make gold. Like if GDKPs existed in phase 2, I would have just made gold. I wouldn't even gear. I would just join or make my own GDKP. I would just make sure I make gold. I wouldn't even want the gear. Why do you want gold? Because you are preparing for level 60, dude. Like anything prior to level 60 is just a waste of time. That's why. You are just trying to make as much gold as possible for level 60. Just play it and expect that you sometimes get lucky. How you say this with a straight face is just beyond me. Do you think people go into PvP to farm rank 3 because they want to get lucky for the back? No, you farm the fucking rep, you get rank 3, and you go buy the fucking item. Like, it's the same thing with us. Like, we want to go into the raid, and if my gear drops, if that necklace drops that like everyone wants, I will put up 20 gold for it, because it's worth that much. And if you outbid me, if you go to 21 gold, you can gladly take it, because I'm getting paid. Relying everything on a roll, that is not fun, dude. That is not fun. Sometimes you don't, and sometimes you don't. I don't have to be among the first to get geared maxed out. I feel like I did respond to this already. I feel like it's just me repeating myself. But yeah, I think we went through all of this. That is just my response going through all of it, guys. People are writing essays here, so I thought I'm gonna make this into a video. Normally I don't do that, but you know, I feel like this video is busy taking off, and I can't thank you guys enough. It's because like it's a very controversial subject. It's very, I don't know how to say this. The best way to explain it is either avocados or like something like sushi, right? It's either you are extremely against it or extremely for it. There's almost like nothing in between. There's like a minuscule amount of people that just don't care about GDKPs, right? I think there are the minority. I think more people are against it. And I think these people that are against it is because they watch like scary movies, scary YouTube channels and videos about like how bad it is for the economy. And like this is how bad it is. And like they show videos of the extremist of the extreme. Guys, I can show you videos of people dying just by sitting behind their chair, playing video games, getting heart attacks, and you know, dying because they swallowed too much spit. Does that mean you have to stop playing video games? Because that is how it is, man. Like you watch too much stuff and don't do enough research. The funniest part is the video I made about my response about how bad GDKPs is, or GDKP is ruining the game. Because I watched StaySafe's video about it. Like he was, you know, facial expressions, like how bad it is for people searching up gold, how to buy gold. That was just funny, dude. Like he's trying so hard to use Google Trends to his advantage and he just fails. So that is just funny to me. And I called him out about it, dude. Like I don't know why that's a part of your video, because that should not be part of your video. You're making a point like how many people are searching for GDKPs, or like how many people are searching how to buy gold, and then there's nothing, and you just sit there, look like a fucking idiot, make your facial expressions though you got destroyed. But yeah, I don't know why it's part of the video, but most people that buy gold is from America anyway, guys. I don't know why. Maybe they're just lazy. Maybe they just don't have time. Maybe the people that is playing SoD right now is like me, right? Mid-30s or close to mid-30s. They have like 2 kids. They're married. They just don't have the time to farm gold. So they go on websites, they buy the gold, and they still want to do GDKPs. It's not because they buy it for GDKPs, but they still want to do GDKPs because that is the best looting system. And if they drop 100 gold for the staff, I wouldn't fucking care. It doesn't make sense to me. I won't worry. I will just have more gold for the next phase. I don't give a shit. That is just my opinion. For me, banning a whole system because of like some YouTubers, some streamers screaming how bad it is. I think the best thing Blizzard can do is just release like stats about how bad it became because of bots. Gold is bad because of bots, and bots should be banned, and they should be finding ways to make it easier to ban bots, make it better for us, right? If they detected a bot, for example, that this is a path they take and blah blah blah, these guys should be PvP tagged. Us players, we could just farm them the whole time, even if it's not a PvP area, for example. Even if it's your own faction, if it's an assumed bot got reported like 3 times or something like that. I don't know. There could be cool stuff like this happening, but Blizzard just does absolute zero towards the bots, or at least that's how it feels like. People are screaming, hey, ban waves is good, because they ban wave so many more bots at like 3 to 6 months. But I say, like, how much damage could you do in 3 months? That is an excuse for not having a team that is like fighting this actively. They might have a team doing it, but I feel like they could always do more, whether it's with programming, whether it's with add-ons, whether it's with background checks of your CPU, like what process is being run. There's so much, dude. Like, there's so much more that they could do, but instead of, like the guy said, chopping the tail of the snake, they could be chopping off the head. The head is obviously the bots, which should be taken care of. It's not GDKPs, it's the bots. So yeah, that is like my sense about this. We covered all we could. Just thank you guys so much for the video taking off. And you guys listening to my rambling. I'm so sorry the video is long, but I think like most people that will listen to this, like they will just listen to this in the background. It's not a most appealing video, but it is a subject that I feel like a lot of people are against, a lot of people are with. And you know, like it's very clear that I'm with this. I'm also for the change for them to ban GDKPs for at least one season, because I feel like only then they will realize, like, especially these guys screaming how bad it is, to realize like how good it is for the game, technically. Because let's say, for example, bots do magically disappear. Materials will become 10 times, maybe even more expensive when it's humans actually farming those materials. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like I think there's a lot of changes happening in phase 2. I'm just looking forward to it, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day, watching this video, listening to what I'm saying. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. It's 5 a.m. my time now. Very late. So I'm going to go to bed. Just once again, guys, links in the description for my Twitch if you want to support the channel. Even if you don't, you want to debate a little bit more, that is fine. I'm very responsive on my Twitch chat. I talk to every single one that's coming in. And just keep in mind, guys, like, it's different opinions. Doesn't mean I dislike you. It doesn't mean that you should go out of your way to like scream in my ears because of, you know, your disagreements. We are civil people. We're all enjoying the game just like the next guy. We're all paying $15 just like the next guy. We just have a different opinion on how the loot system should work, and that is fine, right? So just keep that in mind. We're all just here to play a video game at the end of the day and enjoy pixels, man. Like that's what it is. Like we enjoy pixels, and every like 4 months we'll enjoy different pixels. So yeah, thank you guys so much for taking time out of the day supporting the channel. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and catch me on Twitch. I'm live every day. Take care, guys. Peace.